We're back here on Lac Sports Network. Overtime between Scotland and Finland. A spot in the semifinals opposite England on the line here for these two teams. Quarterfinal number 3 of European Championship action here today. Finland on a 2-goal run to finish the game. Down as many as 3 goals twice in the third quarter. Has come back and has all the momentum, tied things up at 8. And that is where we stand in overtime. A reminder, if you're a fan of Major League Lacrosse or the college game, this is not sudden death overtime. We will play 2 4-minute overtime sessions. And if the two teams are still tied after 8 minutes, then we get into sudden death lacrosse. And so we're guaranteed at least 8 more minutes in this one, as Finland will get the first offensive possession of this first overtime period. No rush for Finland early on in this extra session. Kaisalmi dancing at the top of the box. Bodied up by Reese Jeffrey, draws the slide and now kicks it back out. And around the horn we go. Alternate, leading scorer in this game with a hat trick. Jarno feeds across. Ball is loose and scooped up by Scotland. Reese Jeffrey, the one-man clear. Gets it to his offensive unit a little over a minute into this first extra session. Scotland gets an offensive possession. Here comes Farrington. Through all sorts of traffic, but can't get to cage. And we get our first penalty of the extra session. Mika Helminen, number 25 for Finland. A minute for slashing and a really good opportunity for Scotland in the extra man opportunity. A minute man up in this overtime session. First of 2 4-minute extra sessions here before we get to sudden death. Quick ball movement for the Scots. Richardson thought about it. Now continues to work it around. Shot saved away. Usitalo kicked it out. So he keeps Ian Vickers at bay. Vickers to Pasajewski across to Gilbrook. Now rotating around. Richardson lines up a shot. Instead dishes it off. Carey finds the post. And the backup, great hustle from Finland. Gives it right back to the Finns. A little over midway through this first overtime session. Finland gets possession and can kill off this 1-minute extra man opportunity for the Scots. A big break there for Finland. But we've got a loose ball. On the sideline, scooped up by Scotland, but a whistle. Somebody stepped out of bounds. Let's see who it is. And we'll figure it out after this timeout. As with about a minute left to go in this first overtime session, they have a timeout on the field. And remember, you're watching the European Lacrosse Championships here on LSM, but Lac Sports Network is your home for everything in the sport of lacrosse, featuring live games from every level, including high school, college, Major League Lacrosse, as well as coverage of recruiting events from around the country. That's Lac Sports Network, where it's all access. Lac Sports Network, of course, your home of the 2016 European Lacrosse Championships, as Finland in overtime. The first extra session here between Finland and Scotland has the offensive possession and a chance to strike first in overtime. no sudden death until after 2 4-minute overtime sessions. We're closing down at the end of overtime session number 1. Jacala. He's got 2 assists today. No goals, but is the leading scorer on this Finnish team. Working around to St. Hill. He's got 2 goals, but he loses it. St. Hill couldn't collect the ground ball, and it's still loose. Scotland kicks it away. Kaminsky can't handle it. Kicked out of bounds. Scotland possession. A little bit of a scrum as a couple of the guys get into it for both sides. St. Hill there, pushed away by John Goodwin in Navy. Tensions riding high in overtime session number 1. A lot at stake. A semifinal berth on the line here. Pass goes back to Ethan Harris, and that brings us to the end of the first overtime session. And remember, we will recap this one, a really good one, between Finland and Scotland. Coming up tonight in ELF Nightly, your nightly highlights show with analysis and interviews from the 2016 European Lacrosse Championships. That's all here on Lac Sports Network. Go to lacsportsnetwork.com/Euros for times of airing and to watch previous episodes. LSN, your home for the 2016 European Lacrosse Championships. And so the face-off set for overtime session number 2. One more 4-minute overtime session. And if we are still tied after this, then we reach the sudden death portion of overtime. So far, 84 minutes in the books. And 84 minutes, not enough to decide this one, so we got to play at least 4 more. And Finland, just as in the first overtime session, gets the first possession on offense. Jarno Aaltonen has used his size very well in this game. He's got 3 goals to lead all goal scorers in this one. Aaltonen. Behind the back feed could not be handled by Jokela on the other side, but it's kept in by Finland. And so they keep possession. Jokela spins, dives behind, gets a screen. A good defense here from the Scots. 1 goal, while it is not sudden death, 1 goal might just decide this one in these final 3 minutes of overtime session number 2. Jokela still with it. Spins, fires, shot wide. Here comes St. Hill. Back up top to Weirin. Now back to St. Hill. Shot! Just enough of it is Harris, and I think it hit the post as well. Deflection, Finland a chance, but Harris again. And Scotland is able to pick up the loose ball and get possession. But it's loose again. Aaltonen all over the place and trying to get Tom Loke out of it. It's Aaltonen who comes away with it. Finland keeps possession here in overtime session number 2. Midway through the second overtime session. 6 minutes played in overtime so far. No one has scored. Remember, if the score is still tied after 8 minutes, we then go to sudden death overtime here in the third quarter final of the day. The winner of this plays England in the semifinals tomorrow. Kaminsky strips it, but kept by Finland. Kai Salmi collects the loose ball. Kaisalmi runs into alternate, gets free, but the slide picks him up, and he's pushed back outside. St. Hill on the doorstep, shot sails wide. Every shot that much more important. As we've got a whistle. And the refs stopping a quick restart from Finland. Pulling them back towards the corner of the box. And so that's where things start up once again for Finland. Under a minute to go in this second overtime session. Shot in front, sails wide once again. And Finland pauses it. Takes time out to talk things over. Under a minute to go in this second overtime session. Game still tied at 8, and Finland has possession. A good time to revisit our fun facts for the Finns. It's home of the wife-carrying World Championships. Home of the world's biggest coffee drinkers. This game, not good for your heart if you drink a lot of coffee. Traffic fines are based on drivers' income. It's not mandatory to give students marks until 8th grade, and it hosts an annual Day for Failure, celebrating bad news and ill fortune. Well, Finland hoping for no bad news here down the stretch of overtime. They have never led in this game. Trailed all the way for the very beginning when 4 minutes in, Scotland took a 1-0 lead. Ever since, the closest we've been is a tie. Finland looking to take the lead and be up for good. Ball is stripped. Scotland collects it on the carpet. Under a minute to go. Scotland gets its first offensive possession of this second overtime period. A chance to go in transition, but a whistle and a timeout for the team in Navy. And so Scotland takes a timeout, and we take a look at the Scottish fun facts for this game. It's, of course, the birthplace of the great Sean Connery and J.K. Rowling. The oldest post office in the world is in Scotland. The game of golf, of course, invented there. Comparable land area to that of Maine. And the official animal, whether you believe it or not, it is the unicorn. Whether if you believe that's real or not, it is the unicorn. So now you know. One thing that's not mythical is the fact that this overtime session is coming to an end. Scotland, one last opportunity to score and possibly end this thing. As time is running down, Pasajewski squirms in front. Really good opportunity on the doorstep for Carey, but he couldn't finish. And that brings us to the end of overtime session number 2. 8 minutes of overtime, not enough to decide this one. So now it's on to sudden death, tied at 8 between Scotland and Finland. What a finish to this one. A reminder, you can see more games like this throughout the rest of this tournament, including the semifinals tomorrow. Lac Sports Network, your home for the 2016 European Lacrosse Championships. For dates and times and schedules, head to lacsportsnetwork.com/Euros. Find out when tomorrow's semifinals are, and also get time for the airing of the championship game later on this week. And we will certainly be breaking down both semifinals and all 4 quarterfinals tonight on ELF Nightly, your show to get highlights and analysis as well as interviews from throughout this 2016 European Lacrosse Championships. LSN, your home to the 2016 European Championships from Budapest. And so, 8 minutes of overtime, not enough to decide this one. So after 88 minutes of play, we finally get to sudden death overtime between Scotland and Finland. On the line, a spot opposite England in the semifinals of the tournament tomorrow, as someone will get its first top 4 finish in the European Championships in quite a while. Finland has never finished top 4 in a European Championships. For Scotland, their best finish was 3rd by coming off a 6th place finish in 2012. So someone is going to better their finish here this year. Vickers dances into the middle. Good opportunity on the doorstep, sails wide. That would have ended it for Ian Vickers. Instead, it's backed up by Scotland. Farrington gets it back to Vickers. Tosses it back out top to Sage. Vasajewski, 2 goals today, gets it back to Farrington, who has not scored in this game. Vickers down the alley to Pasajewski, now back to Carey. Around to Sage. Shot on the doorstep, stopped by Usitalo. Another shot couldn't get to the cage, and Usitalo eventually corrects in his crease. Transition opportunity for Finland. And they decide to settle it down. Rup Jokela working at X. The leading scorer for this Finland team has not scored today, does have 2 assists. 17 goals on the tournament. Certainly have to keep an eye on him if you're Scotland. Jimmy Weirin working it around. Finds the stick of Jokela. He works near side. Slips. Now loses it, but able to calmly recollect in the corner. And he dishes off to Aaltonen. Leading scorer in this game, 3 goals. Now 12 on the tournament. He has a hat trick today. Next goal wins in this one. Fans want a penalty. Shot in front, finds the side of the cage, and they will get a penalty. Flag is down, and Scotland just got a bad break. A mistake for Scotland, and we have a penalty. Number 17, it looks like. It's Tom Loke going to the box for a minute for slashing. A couple of minutes into this sudden death 3rd overtime session. A man-up opportunity for Finland. Next goal wins between Scotland and Finland. Chance to win it, and he does! Jokela, the leading scorer for Finland, and he finishes off Scotland. Finland's moving on to the semifinals. They'll play England for a chance to go to the European Championship later this week. Jokela wins it in overtime for Finland in sudden death. 9-8 your final in Budapest, as it's Finland moving on to the semifinals. Travis Eldridge signing off here for Lac Sports Network.